Hi, I'm Chris Martirano with American Music and Sound and our good friends at Kraft Music. I'm going to be showing you Kurzweil's Artis 7, a 76-note model in the Artis line. And for great value, check out the bundles that Kraft has put together for you. I'm going to give you a brief overview of Kurzweil's Artis 7. But you should know that it shares all the great features of the Kurzweil Artis, the 88-note model. For more, you might want to check out some of our other videos. The Kurzweil Artis 7 is really lightweight. It uses a semi-weighted action. Great portability, makes easy gigging. We don't have to carry all the very heavy gear. And handsome design with brushed aluminum and red end caps. The Artis 7 uses Kurzweil's proprietary VAST architecture, allowing you to do great analog emulation, also drawing sounds from the legendary PC3K and also from the Core 64 ROM. It's 128 voices of polyphony, great sounding filters, very powerful modulation routings, and it sports 4 independent zones. One of the features I love most is on the front you have 3 bands of EQ. You have a parametric center band, and then you also have a high shelf and a low shelf. This is really useful when you're in a situation and you just want to tweak the overall sound of the instrument. Maybe somebody has a backline and you're plugged into an amp that's not your favorite amp. You can really dial your sounds in great. The front panel offers great real-time controls. You have 9 sliders, useful when you're using the KB3 drawbar organ mode. Also useful when you're making a combination, or what they refer to as a multi, where you have 4 zones. The first 4 sliders will be dedicated to volume for each respective zone, and the buttons over each of the sliders will act as mute and on and off buttons for each zone. Then you have additional sliders with buttons over them that are dedicated to effects control, making the instrument very easy to use and very clear to understand. For example, I have a reverb slider and an on-off button for it. So if I want to add more reverb overall to a sound, I can. This, again, is great in a live gigging situation where you might be playing in a very small concert hall and you don't need so much reverb, or you might be playing in a very tiny club where you want a little more ambience. Then you have a second slider next to it, which in this case would be the 8th slider, and that might be doing things like chorusing or phasing. You have another slider next to that that might be doing things like distortion, which is great when you're using some of the electric pianos. So let's listen to some of the sounds. We'll go through some of the sounds. You just heard a multi-dynamic 9-foot concert grand. Now I'm going to show you a really beautiful Tine electric piano, again with multiple dynamics. You can imagine you get the full complement of sounds. You get 256 factory programs, and then the user can save 256 variations that they edit. You can also import sounds from the PC3 library series, which is a ton of sounds made for that instrument. Then you get into multi-mode, as I said, where you can now combine up to 4 sounds. And then when you put this all together, you get an instrument that's capable of giving you really powerful performance features. So I'm just going to show one of the Core 64 guitars. There's a ton of electric guitars and acoustic guitars that are phenomenal. And they feature that cool one-key bend that Kurzweil is known for, such as, you notice I only bend one note, which is really cool. In multi-mode, each single zone can take its own assignments for each control, and that would include the pedal inputs in the back, the sliders, even the buttons are programmable controls. And then, if I decide I want to mix and match this stuff on the fly, I'm going to be able to just simply use my 4 sliders here, are going to come up for volume right away, and I can mute zones. I can use velocity to trigger zones, I can use pedals to bring in zones, I can use pedals to mute zones. So it's very powerful. Within one multi, you can get a lot of performance, as I'm going to show with this one multi now, called Velocity Orchestra. In this next multi, I layered the bass with some percussion sounds. In the right hand, I have piano, and then I have some brass that comes in only on velocity. So again, you can play a kind of nice samba or a Latin vibe using this multi with no sequencing running, but you can still get a convincing rhythm section. As I said earlier, in the Core 64, there's some great guitars. This features a rock guitar layered with a bass playing in unison, and then a real drum kit mapped out in the left hand that I'm actually playing notes to trigger percussion sounds such as kick and snare. It's a lot of fun. You can kind of sound like your own one-man metal band. Splitting and layering is very easy on the instrument. In fact, there's a dedicated soft button that says layer. If you press it, it allows you to instantly layer. In fact, it assumes that you want a pad, so it provides a pad for you. You can, of course, change the pad to another sound that you like, or you write in the category of pads, and you can select sounds from categories. So if you decide you want another layer and you want it layered with something else, let's say guitar, or maybe layered with an organ, they're categories labeled above the selection buttons for sound, so it's very easy. If you want to split, you hit a split soft key, and automatically you're presented with the bass to the left. If you want to change the split point, it's very easy. The idea behind this user interface was ease of use to make it fun and easy to use in live performance situations. Once again, I'm Chris Martirano from American Music and Sound, and that's the Kurzweil Artis 7. If you want to know more about the Artis family, check out some of our other videos. And don't forget those amazing bundles that Kraft Music has put together. You get great value and all the accessories you need to get the most out of your instrument. Thanks again for watching.